Okay, Marvin, the video on the left is the yesterday we went on the golf course. This is a video from, maybe 3 weeks ago over on the right. So the big thing here is all we wanted to still how to get more energy into the swing without feel like you have to do so much more or more information. And it's evident it works because you're hitting, when you do it, you are hitting the ball further. However, with this new feeling of energy plus a sense that you're trying to find a focal point of what you should do on the downswing, and I'll get back to that in a second. But if you kind of look at things in time, it takes the golf swing's a second from the start to impact. And so basically we have 3/4 of a second up and 1/4 of a second down. And the key is we're trying to do what we do in the backswing with geometry. That's your angles, how we take a grip, stance, posture. Your plane angles, your path angles are established. That you have ingrained to your swing, to what we worked on. And the downswing is and it's also energy. How do we store up energy to get it out of energy? So part of it to help get speed here, we need some type of sense of resistance, like a spring, or another way to see it is like a bow and arrow. So we have a bow and we pull the string this way, we're creating energy, and eventually you're just going to let the arrow go flying. So what happens in this swing, when we stretch more in a certain place, it's creating more of a resistance, like a rubber band or a spring being loaded. And the key thing here is when we do that, it's giving you some natural energy to head to the ball the way you like it or not. When left to, even though this backswing over here is, you have properties of a backswing, you have a shoulder turn, your hips are moving, your hands are hinged, you're in these places here. And if we go up here and look at this one on the left, it won't look too much different. We'll go over what it is different, but the hands look exactly, the arms look the same, the knees and the legs look kind of the same. There is a difference here, but the difference in this swing, you're trying to get the hit, the straightness, and the power in your swing. And eventually what happens is you're trying to make something go fast. The problem is your body is not in a position to get any speed because of what we talked about. So the only way to get speed is to take your hands and throw them down at the club as fast as you can. So your hands become this release point. So what happens once you throw the club, since your body didn't really have any part of generating any speed on the way down, you just throw it and it stops right there. And if you can maximize it a little bit, it'll be okay, but you're not really getting the speeds you've been getting here this last week, what we worked on. So the only thing we really did difference in your swing is we created a more of a stretching feeling. So this muscle underneath this shoulder blade here is a muscle that you're feeling. A couple things here. You're going to first, before you start, you're going to feel that muscle engage. So I wanted you to feel that muscle tighten up before you swing, like you're picking up a weight with your left hand. That muscle is engaged. So also we engage our core muscles and our feet in the ground. So you got to feel, I feel when I'm getting ready to swing that I am connected to the ground. So if somebody tried to come knock me over, I'm connected, and they wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm feeling connected because I'm getting ready to store up energy and release it back this way. I just can't stand over here and just say my whole body's relaxed. I'm trying to create power and create a force. And so some parts are relaxed and some aren't. The parts that aren't are the one we've been talking about. So the first thing you do is you're going to tighten up your feet to the ground. You're going to tighten up your core second. And the last thing is you're going to feel that muscle right here start to feel, it needs to feel first, the initial feeling is to feel like it's engaged or you're tightening up that muscle to move. So if we walk, we're tightening up our muscles to move and push off the ground. So that muscle, might not feel the stretch at this first part, but you definitely need to feel this muscle here is tight and these is engaged. And well, so I'll call it engaged as in tight, meaning your muscles are moving here. You have an awareness of those things. Now the majority of our thoughts can be right here in this 3/4 second. So you're feeling this move, you feel this resist and this resist, or stability there. And this swing, as you go up, there's a little bit of a lift at this point, because you're getting ready to use your hands. And so by feeling that little stretch, right about here, you're going to start feeling that stretch really kick in, because this is resisting here and we're moving here and we're stretching. Now what that does, you can see when you go up to the top, we see more of your back and less of your back. We see less of your right shoulder and more of your right shoulder, so which means you created more of a resistance, like a spring. And we just felt it from moving this arm and this as a lever against this lower half. Now from here, we don't have time to have a lot of thoughts. You're trying to figure out what you need to do from here. And the whole point of it is all the stuff we've been doing wants to unwind. We're just going to let it. Now, the key thing for you is we're trying to make the club go fast. The key thing, what I wanted you to focus on is just take your core muscles and your arms. You're going to feel the core muscles move that way from the feet and your core, and the hands are going to start swinging down. And that's basically it. The combination of those things happening, your hips will get out of the way. Your arms swing down with that rotational force, and eventually right here it releases that club into the ball. You see how your head stays naturally level. There's no up and down in your swing. It stays nice and level throughout the swing. There's no motion. So the key from here is we're going to feel that resistance like a spring. And we're going to send the energy towards this ball. And the answer to your question, what you should feel, well, that's what's going to be up to you. When you hit about 5 or 6 in a row, you're going to start telling yourself that energy feels like such and such. And it's just releasing energy like if I took a bow and arrow and I pulled the bow back, I'm going to create a stretch. Eventually, I'm just going to let go of the bow or the string of the bow, and the arrow's going flying. I don't need to give it instructions. I've already done everything by stretching the string and aiming it, and then it's just going to release. So we get the stretch feeling. We just want to just send the energy towards the ball and let that club go flying through there. That club's designed to go fast. And everything right here you can see lined up to the impact. So the club didn't flip over, arms swung, body come on through, and had all that energy get into the natural momentum of the finish. Over here you're hitting with your hands because you didn't really have any force from the body. Even though you're trying to move your body, the stretch gave you a sense of get the energy going. So all the stretch did was got your body to feel more stretching to create more natural speed, instead of you trying to force the speed to happen, like here, trying to force it to happen. It just happens. And I know you're looking for a key what you should do, but also is when I got you to stretch and you started hitting it, it just started happening. Basically, you had all the stored up energy and we just let it go flying through. Eventually, you might have a picture, a feeling, but give yourself organically to kind of figure out that answer. But as long as you have this stretch and this kind of core resistance, you're building a spring of energy that wants to go. If you don't have that, you're just going to hit with your hands, and then we don't get our distance. So whether you like it or not, that momentum will take you around to the finish. You can see in this hit over here, just because you hit with your hands, there's no follow through. Part of you might be worried about the ball that you're going to hit, and then your hands are going to go down to this and to try to find the ball. It's tough to worry about it, but you have to commit to say, whatever happens, I'm going to deal with what happens. If you hit a bunch of 9s in a row bad, that means you can first say, well, I know I was stretching. I know I felt the resistance. However, if you miss the first one, then you start asking yourself questions, what should I do? And the key is now you're trying to give yourself instructions in this quarter of a second in time. And the whole thing we want to do is to take that out and just say, look, I'm just going to take this energy that I stored up. I'm sending that energy to the ball, and that's everything I got. My arms, my core, my feet, all that energy is heading down. Don't break it. The more you break it down to parts, the slower it gets, the more controlling. Just release the energy. Trust your angles. This isn't random, because when we do this, your club face is perfectly square. These are all these things we've been working on. Your club hands have hinged. You got this energy stored up in here. So even all we did was add a stretch, but basically the parts were always there like they are here, but this one has more of a stretch. That gets the energy moving like a turbocharge, and right through impact, we just let it fly through to your finish. So these are things that you have to build trust that it's just going to happen. Eventually you might have something simple like seeing the energy going through, feel something, but it won't feel, I think I would like for you to feel not just isolated points like just get my hips through or get my shoulder through or my hands through. I would just feel that hold. Just take your arms, your body, send that energy to like you're hitting the bag as a force, right? You take that feeling, you just kind of go send all that energy towards the ball and just let it fly through. You have to give up control. What might if you're going to hit the ball? Because if you not control it, if you don't like that, you'll slam on the brakes and you'll go try to find the ball with your hands. Here, the ball is going to get in the way of the swing, and the energy brings you up to the finish. So part of that is keep that engage those muscles at the start, the back, the feet, the core. They tighten up before you swing. They need to feel like you're getting ready to move. The muscles will tighten up. We're going to move this arm and this shoulder this way to create resistance against this. That's going to feel the stretch right there. That arm will feel extended from here. All we got to do from now is just kind of feel like that energy's heading towards the bag or the ball. And from that feeling, we're just going to let that club go flying through there. And if you're down there trying to hit the ball and miss-hit it, you just get more control in the hit and not the technique. So give yourself a chance to get that confidence back of when you stretch, send the energy toward the ball, and let it just release through.